All right, let's talk about one of the most fundamental tools in Python, something you'll use constantly, the print command. We're going to call it the Python megaphone, and you're about to see why. It's basically your window into what your code is actually thinking. So let's dive in.
So let me just start by asking you a question. Your computer is running your code, right? It's crunching numbers, it's making decisions, but how do you actually see what's going on in there? How do you get it to tell you what it's thinking from one moment to the next?
To answer that, we kind of have to understand what's going on inside the computer's head.
Okay, so just imagine your computer is storing all sorts of information in these little labeled jars. We call them variables. So you might have a jar labeled username that holds the name Alex. But here's the thing. By default, the computer is totally silent. It knows what's in the jars, but it's not going to tell you unless you ask. We need a way to make it talk.
So how do we break that silence? How do we get the computer to speak up? Well, luckily for us, Python gives us a perfect tool for the job.
And that tool is the print command. I want you to think of it as a megaphone. You hand it a message, and it just shouts that message out for you to see on the screen. It's our direct line of communication, our way to see what our code is really up to.
So how do we actually use this megaphone in practice? Let's use a really simple analogy to make it stick.
Picture a busy restaurant. Step 1, the waiter takes an order and scribbles it down on their notepad. Food equals burger. That's just like us creating a variable. The information is there, but the chef in the kitchen has no idea yet. So now comes step 2. The waiter shouts the order to the chef. That's our print command. Print food is us telling the computer, hey, tell me what's in that food variable.
Okay, listen up, because this next part is the most important thing to remember about printing. Seriously, if you take away just one thing from this whole explainer, this should be it. This is the one golden rule.
And it's all about the quotes. See, when you put quotes around the word, like in print food, you're telling Python to shout the literal word food. Simple as that. But when you take the quotes away, like in print food, you're asking it to do something completely different. You're telling it to go find that variable, that jar labeled food, and tell you what's inside. In this case, burger. That's the huge difference.
All right, enough talk. You've got the theory, so let's put it to the test right now with a super quick challenge.
Okay, here's the setup. We have one line of code. We've made a variable, a jar, named score, and inside it, we've put the number 100.
And now, here's the command we're going to run. Take a good look at it, print score. Notice carefully what's there and what isn't.
So, thinking back to that golden rule we just covered, what is the computer going to display on the screen? Take a second, think it through.
And the answer is 100. Did you get it? Because we didn't use quotes, Python knew not to print the word score. Instead, it looked inside the score variable, found the value 100, and shouted that out. Perfect! So for one last little brain teaser, what if we had used quotes? What if the command was print paren score? Well, you already know the answer, don't you? It would have just printed the word score. And that simple difference right there is the entire key to mastering the print function.
And there you have it, the Python megaphone, all figured out. Hey, if this explainer made things click for you, let us know. We read all the feedback, and it really does help us create more of these.